my idea was to create an enterprise that would make profit, of course, but in a way that is profitable to the society. And my interest was in communication. When I say communication, it's a little bit, it's not something new to say communication, but the understanding we have of it is to use, to promote local knowledge by creating communication tools through experiences capitalization. So that is our understanding of communication at present. The idea came in two times. The first time was when I was a trainee in an advertisement agency. And that is where I realized that it was possible to start an enterprise with very little means. In fact, all that we need in this agency was our brain, was lots of ideas, and that was very interesting for me. But at the same time, I noticed that only person that could afford to pay for communication were customers in this agency, and I found that really frustrating. Then 1 year after that, I was an employee in a non-government organization in a rural area in Burkina, in the east part of Burkina. And there I learned to work with farmers, by making interviews. And I learned so much from the farmers. And it's there that I realized how important, how big was the knowledge at a local level. I think that in my case, the most important positive benefit of being elected an Ashoka Fellow is the self-confidence it gives to me. Because I have to confess that before Ashoka appeared in my environment and in my life, I was just, I wasn't sure of the, I don't know how to say, I was sure of the importance of what I was doing, but I had never dreamed that other people would acknowledge and recognize that what I was doing was something really important, because it was so important to me that it was difficult for me to explain it. So I say, okay, just start. I told myself, well, Jocelyne, just start working, start doing little things, and maybe someday, one day, other people will realize what you're doing. And so I was quite amazed, and that gave me a lot of self-confidence. Well, yes and no. And I spoke of what we are doing to Ashoka Fellows of Burkina Faso in particular. And I was happy to see that many of them were interested in capitalizing their experiences. Because for me, it seems so evident that one of the first experiences we should capitalize are experiences of innovators. Because, it seemed evident to me. And there are projects in process. Actually, we already started for one of the fellows, and we have recorded his experience, and we are planning to publish something about that. So my goal in the first 3 years of the of existence of performances was to know exactly what the needs of my target groups were, because I had an idea, and but it was just an idea. So I had to experiment if what I thought good was meeting needs that exist. So the 3 first years for me was to speak with as many farmers organizations as possible, and to speak with other resource persons, to test my idea, to deliver the first services, and to learn from this new work. Because when I start, I had, let's say, no references. I had to invent everything myself. Even the organization of the team, I had to invent, because in a normal, I say normal between quotation marks, in a normal enterprise, you would have, I don't know, someone charge of bookkeeping, you would have a secretary, you would have, and when you come at performance, you won't find that kind of person. Instead, you will find someone in charge of collecting information. So I had really to invent new professions, new tasks, and that take me 3 good years. And now I think I know exactly what the needs are. I know what we can do. I also know what our weaknesses are. And above all, I know what our strengths are. And I think the next step now is to have the appropriate equipment so that we can become autonomous in what we want to do. So my name is Yennenga Jocelyne Kompaore, and I am definitely a change maker.